Very warm welcome to you as you join us on today's episode of Tax Matters. My name is Olumuyiwa Matuloko, and we think that it is still in order to wish you a very happy new year. Today we have a big fish in the house, and the person of the acting executive chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Alh.K.M. Mashi. Alhaji Mashi has presided over a forward-looking and nimble FIRS. And in 2013, we know that they did very well, but we are not going to say that. We're going to hear from the horse's mouth. Alhaji, we welcome you to this special episode of Tax Matters.
Thank you.
Yes. Permit us to begin by congratulating the service on a successful year 2013. We know you did very well, but we will be hearing from you, from the horse's mouth, permit us to use that phrase, how the FIRS fared in the year 2013. So, if you will, take a look at 2013 in general. How did the FIRS fare?
Well, thank you very much, Tax Matters. First of all, let me thank the taxpayers of this great nation who are stakeholders, because without the taxpayers, there will not be any revenue. So I say thank you to all the taxpayers, and I say Happy New Year. The same thing goes to our staff. Yes, they are equally very important. They have done very well last year. So I wish to use this media to congratulate them and thank them for what they have been doing and wish them well this year. Then, going back to last year, I think one should give thanks to Allah for seeing all of us through the year and for making it possible to do what we did in terms of revenue generation. I'm happy that we are able to meet up the target given to us by the government. In fact, we exceeded the target. We were given a target of 4.4 trillion naira, and I think we were able to make 4.8.
Oh, that's very good. Okay. Now, if you look at some of the initiatives that the FIRS embarked upon in the year 2013, which we are sure were responsible for the superlative performance, we look at, for example, you began with a directive, because I remember we spoke to you in January 2013, and you said, no thing, no business, that is taxpayer identification number. Why was that directive necessary?
Well, in anything you're doing, you need an identification. So we look at this and I say, okay, let each taxpayer have a unique identification number, which you quote in all your relationship with FIRS. At the same time, it is the same thing you will use when you go to the bank to open a bank account. It's one of the requirements that you have to have a TIN before you can open an account. So when it comes to contract, it is a TIN you will use when they want to pay you. Because of that, the TIN, when the money is remitted to the banks, the bank cannot remit to FIRS. And then in that process, there's a taxpayer that is being shortchanged and the government. Because at the end, the bank will come and say, we have this much, but we cannot remit. So we give them a window to transfer the money collected from the MDS. But it will be difficult to issue individual withholding tax credit notes because there is no TIN. So I'm urging all taxpayers who are yet to get TIN to try and get TIN, and it's free of charge. You go to any of our offices, then they generate the TIN number and give you, which you'll be quoting in all your transactions with the service.
Tied to that is the TIN validation scheme for importers. You also said that importers must validate the TIN number, and that means that you had to collaborate with the customs and the central bank. Why was that necessary?
Yeah, because as a taxpayer, when you're importing, you need to quote that TIN. And when payment is going to be made, you need to quote that TIN. So it is important, and luckily enough, we agreed to work together as government agencies. And I think it's helping the system. It's helping us to know the taxpayers and to have all the taxpayers that are not in our tax net before.
In 2012, the transfer pricing regulations were released. And in 2013, you mounted a campaign towards making sure that those who are concerned with transfer pricing matters come on board. And we know for a fact that by this year 2014, it's now time for them to file using the TP regulations. How is that process going?
Well, I'm happy to say last year, I say around August, September, we created a unit, a transfer pricing unit, and it's situated in Lagos, large tax office. It's being headed by a deputy director. Staff have been posted to work with him. I think they have been exposed to training so that they know what to do. Because of the importance of transfer pricing, the multinational and so on, we need to know and focus attention on transfer pricing. And they just took off, so it will be too early to say exactly what they have achieved. But the person we posted is a very seasoned tax administrator and a goal-getter, Mr. Bonjubola, is the deputy director, and I'm sure, God willing, between now and end of the year, you will see a lot of activities, trainings, talks, and so on.
How long it will take for you to clear my container?
I dey do am, Oga. Then Sable will go bring our team.
Our team? Which team?
Custom don't change, Oga. And FRS Sable.
And what you concern FRS with my business? I will talk to Gaba myself. You are fired. Oga Gaba, which one be this our team again?
The taxpayer identification number now the only way where you fit take do business with Nigerian Customs Service now. You fit process your own free tin sharp for any FRS office.
Soji,
You just sack me, no.
get our team now.
This message now from Federal Inland Revenue Service and Nigeria Customs Service.
Welcome back. We are still on to Tax Matters, and with us in the house today is the acting executive chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service in the person of Alh.K.M. Mashi. We've been reviewing what the FIRS did in the year 2013, and we want to move on by looking at some of the initiatives embarked upon towards maximizing tax returns. Alhaji, sometime in 2013, the FIRS, in conjunction with the Joint Tax Board, held a workshop. We were trying to put together a presumptive tax regime for Nigeria. When you say presumptive tax, what do you mean?
Well, the whole idea is we are targeting the informal sector. Those who are not keeping records. They say, okay, let's presume that you are doing ABCD. Pay a minimum tax of this much. So that's the whole idea. And it's more with states than federal.
Okay.
That's why we discuss it as Joint Tax Board. We say, okay, state revenue boards, this is an idea, drive it, make it happen. And some of the states are on it.
Okay. You think that will impact positively on the revenue basket?
It will, because If you have taxpayers who are not paying anything, and then they will come, maybe they need tax clearance, or they want to transact business with the government, or they want to go to the bank and open an account and so on, and they don't have anything to show. They say, okay, pay something token. You're in the tax net, you will get what you want, like the tax clearance and so on, and then continuously, yearly, you will pay something.
Okay, let's leave those who don't keep records, who are below the ladder, and move up. Integrated Tax Administration System, ITAS, under which the FIRS hopes that a lot of the processes will be automated. How far is that project going?
Well, I think I can say I'm happy with what has been achieved so far. If you recall, I think in December we at LTO Abuja we learned the beginning of the process as a pilot. We will go to other offices this year, and once they take off, then we expand to other offices. The whole idea is to make it easy for taxpayers and the tax administrators, automate our processes so that you don't even have to come to our office to pay your tax. In your office, in your bedroom, once you have a system, with your handset, you can transact business with FIRS. That is our dream. And God willing, we have a target of 2015, I think, for all these things to actualize.
Okay, to automate the system wholly.
Yes.
Oh, that will be the day. Let's look at multiple taxation. Again in 2013, we keep going back to 2013, the federal government decided to take the bull by the horns, and we remember that at the end of all the consultations, a ministerial implementation committee was set up under the leadership of the coordinating minister for the economy, federal minister of finance. What role is the FIRS playing in this regard? Because it's a serious matter. People complain about being stopped on the highway, being stopped at street corners for collection of taxes. What role are you playing to make things better?
We're doing a lot in this aspect. Last year, we met, Joint Tax Board met, discussed and reviewed, and then a report was sent to the coordinating minister to give us status of what we have done so far. And a lot has been achieved. Because it's a concern of Joint Tax Board too, that there are multiple taxes, levies, but in some states there are user charges, but people see it as multiple tax. So if you don't enjoy the service, you don't pay. Those are separate. The other ones is there are illegal road checks which are not approved by anybody. People come and block roads and start to extort money. Then there are legitimate ones which say, okay, go and pay, get receipts, and the money goes to government. So all these things are the things we are trying to see how best we can reduce to minimum this type of incidences. And the committee is working, and very soon the final report will be submitted, and once it's approved, we'll release it, make it public.
How is that committee going to work with local governments? We know the Joint Tax Board comprises the states, boards of internal revenue, and the FIRS. Most of these problems arise at local government levels. What have you done to...
That's why we have Joint Tax Board.
They'll be able to talk to the
Joint Tax Board are representing the states and the local government, because then we have been talking with other associations to discuss and get input from them. But strictly speaking, it is the states now that will go back and have a discussion with the local government and say, okay, this is what we have agreed, this is what has not been agreed.
Okay. We'll go on another short break. When we come back, we'll be looking at how the FIRS has been able to work on the ministries, departments, and agencies towards making sure that they play their role as collecting agents effectively. Don't go away.
Every day, my people they for work. Some they do office work. Some get them own business. So all of them want good road, constant power for better life. Whether now office work, oh yeah, pay your tax. Whether now your own business, oh pay your tax. If you want a better life, oh pay your tax. Now your civic responsibility, pay your tax. Better soup, now money cook more. Oh yes. Nothing goes for nothing, my brother. If you want potable water, security and hospital for make life jolly.
That's right. Good roads, good hospitals, portable water, adequate security all come from taxpayers' money. Play your part in making Nigeria great. Everybody, small scale, big companies, entrepreneurs, do the right thing. Pay your tax. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS.
Welcome back once again. The program is Tax Matters, and we are having a chat with the acting executive chairman of the Federal Revenue Service, Alh.K.M. Mashi. Alhaji is still looking at the year 2013. We recall that early in that year, the FIRS set up a government business tax department. And the first reaction was, government business. What is government business? Why did you set up GB?
Because give contracts, they are expected tax from the contract sum and remit to FIRS if it is limited liability company. If it is individual or enterprise, it goes to states. The same thing was VAT. Because the government are enjoying services of contractors, consultants, and so on. When they award contract, they are expected to add VAT 5% and remit it to FIRS. We realized year in, year out that some of the local government and state governments will award contract, deduct, and they will not remit. They will recycle the money. And in that process, the taxpayer is being denied his advance payment on tax, and the government is equally being shortchanged. So we say, okay, let's create government business tax offices to focus attention on government. And then, because of this peculiarity of this, we're working with the Accountant General. Say, okay, since there's this deep miss, let's work and see when MDS give out contracts, if it is given to you, for instance, the moment they are paying you, the VAT element and withholding tax element should equally be paid together, so that the money, your own money goes to you, the other two payments go direct to government. So you have no reason to return the money. And I'm happy to say the Accountant General is very supportive. In fact, this is a draft circular which dated 9th January, which he is to release to all MDAs with attachments on schedule of what and what they should fill when they are making remittances and so on.
Okay. Let's look at some of the stakeholders, the banks, the MDAs. You've spoken about them with your response to our question on the government business tax department. The taxpayers at large, Let's begin with the banks. They have been your partners for a long time. How is the relationship? Are you satisfied?
Well, to some extent, I can say yes, because we have dual relationship with banks. One, as taxpayers.
Yes.
Two, as collectors on behalf of FIRS.
Yes.
The taxpaying element, there's a department in charge of that. And from the report I got, they are not doing badly. The other aspect of revenue collection, we sign agreements with the banks on the collection, the process, what they should do and what they should not do, and what illegal revenue should do, and so on. And year in, year out, we audit the bank remittances. Where we find a bank breaching the agreement, like collecting tax money but delaying remitting to central bank, we impose penalty. And they have to pay. We can equally ask a bank to stop collecting because we have that agreement and we all sign and agree. So I think by and large I can say they are doing well because, you see, as I said, we have automated some of our transactions. Like we have a department in charge of revenue accounting. They monitor the banks from their offices, what comes in, what is remitted, real time. So there is no hiding place. Once the money hits the bank, we'll see it, unless the bank decides not to show it in the system. But once you go as a taxpayer and pay your money, it will.
As I'm getting my own alert that money has been deducted, FIRS is also viewing.
Yes, and when they remit, our office will see it, confirm, yes, this money has been remitted. When you go to our office, they give you a receipt and say, yes, we have received this.
So why do you still have problems with withholding tax credit notes? Why do taxpayers still have problems with withholding that? I'm putting you on the spot, sir.
Yeah, because things are not done the right way. When a ministry awards contracts, they are supposed, when they are remitting the money, they are supposed to fill in a schedule of remittance, indicating all the taxpayers, the type of contract, the withholding tax, and the amount, and total it. Let's take, for instance, federal revenue. In a month, let's say we awarded contract to 100 taxpayers, contractors, and the total, let's say, 1 billion naira. We will come up with a schedule of remittance. When the 1 million naira is sent to the bank, that remittance will go to our office. So once the money is remitted from FIRS, our office know, okay, these are the contractors that total 1 billion naira. And then we issue individual withholding tax credit notes. And then issue one receipt to Federal Revenue Service for the 1 billion. But the 1 billion is made up of about 100. But what happens, or what is happening sometimes, the ministry will just send the money without the schedule. So if we receive the money, we don't know the makeup of that. So we only issue a receipt, but there is no credit note. Until a taxpayer comes to complain that I have suffered this from Ministry AA. So go and confirm. Till then we get the remittance. And that's why I told you, sometimes the banks will take money, there's no schedule, and they cannot remit it. So we have to open a window. Otherwise, they will keep the money. It will not hit our account. And that's what we are trying to address.